Yo, 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 what is going on, guys? Joey Sharkenbach is back here with another video, and in this video, we're going to talk about the game that wrapped up, we'll say, 2 hours ago, between the Ravens and the Steelers, a classic rivalry meeting one of the season. So, of course, big shout out to all the Steelers fans. Very, very scrappy team. They're coached well. As overrated as I think Tomlin is, they are still a well coached team, and they really know how to overcome adversity, and they showed that today. They're scrappy, and they showed it. They're not a team that's going to go down easy. If they're going down, they are going down swinging, and you definitely saw that today. So congrats to the Steelers. Big win for you guys. You needed it. Just a backbreaker for the Ravens, or for us, I should say. Just a absolute backbreaker. A lot of issues going on today. A lot of issues that resulted in the loss. So, we didn't deserve the win. Obviously, I would have been saying something totally different if we did get that 2-point conversion. We'll save that for later on in the video. But yeah, just too many issues, guys. Just a lot of missed opportunities, and just, issues that are really coming back to bite us. And, maybe we'll find a way to get into the playoffs because we were 8-3. Now we're 8-4. Unless we really choke. But it's just, I don't know. I think, it's just, the injuries are really bad. I know, but I try not to make excuses for that. But I feel like I'm in a movie. Every single game, at least one guy goes down and is out for some sort of time, right? Maybe there's been a game or two where we made it out of the game healthy. But besides that, at least one guy gets hurt every game and is out for a considerable amount of time. Whether it's McCary, Elliott was out for the year, and now Marlon Humphrey could be out for the year, and Patrick McCary is out for, they said, at least a few weeks. So it's just like, what is going on? And I feel like I'm in a movie because it literally, you have to think, okay, at some point it's going to get better. At some point the injuries are going to let up. At some point it's going to happen. It hasn't. It simply has not. If anything, it's getting worse and worse. We have new injuries every single game. We can't, I know in football it's physical. People get banged up, but we have people going down every game, and that can't happen. So yeah, I'm not going to worry about all of that because there's really nothing I can do. But I'd have to think our strength and conditioning staff will not be totally the same next year. We'll put it that way. So that sucks. And of course, just prayers up for Marlon Humphrey and Patrick McCary, man. They've been through a lot, especially McCary. He's been battling injuries all year. And then Humphrey, as far as I know, he had been healthy leading into this game, and he got hurt on that Deontay Johnson touchdown. Really, really hope he's okay, but the initial fear is it's worrisome. Harbaugh was very worried in the press conference, and he really does a nice job of backing off the worry. I remember being pretty cool about Dobbins. He was nervous, obviously, but he didn't really show it. Apparently, I didn't see the press conference, but apparently he was super nervous in the press conference. So Humphrey, we could be without for perhaps the rest of the year. So that just sucks. We can never catch a break. So prayers up to Humphrey and McCary. Hope you guys get well soon. So yeah, and again, guys, we did not deserve this win. So even if we got the win, of course, I wouldn't have really been saying this. But it's too many missed opportunities that come back to bite us in the end. We score that touchdown. Oh my God, we're about to tie it or take the lead, or fall short on the 2-point conversion and end up losing. But you think, and then those blown opportunities that we had earlier, repetitively in the game, are no, not so fast, okay? You blew us, so now we're gonna blow you. It's just, it can't happen. So many missed opportunities. Okay, I keep saying that, so I'll give you some examples. The dropped interceptions. How many dropped interceptions did we have today? I think it was at least 3, wasn't it? Chuck Clark dropped 1, maybe 2. I know, of course, we should have had that pick with Queen, but frickin' Averett, who had a really tough game today, got called for the pass interference. It was pass interference, no question. It was the right call. The refs, though, were not good in this game for both sides. I think they gave the Ravens some breaks. They gave the Steelers some breaks. That was one of their good calls. It was definitely pass interference. But yeah, and then we had a draw. I think was it Houston who might have dropped the pick? It was a bat down, but it definitely could have been picked. Yeah, it can't happen. We got to catch picks, man. Chuck Clark has brick hands. This isn't the first time he's dropped at least one pick in a game. Earlier this year, he's just had blatant drops. Wasn't he the one who dropped the pick on Mayfield last game? It was an easy pick, and he dropped that. I think that was Chuck Clark. Like, Clark in coverage, and he's a solid tackler, but he just has brick hands, dude. Brick hands. And so that can't happen. You can't keep getting away with blowing these opportunities. There's examples, just dropping interceptions. Offensively, blown opportunities. So I know this is pretty small sample size, but like when we run, whether it's play action or whether it's a quick throw, we have a nice 10 to 13 yard completion over the middle, whether it's to Watkins, whether it's to Brown, and we just don't capitalize. Whether the ball gets tipped or Jackson makes a bad throw or if it's dropped, can't happen. When the receivers are open, we got to connect, and we just don't do that enough. Sometimes we do, and it's great, but we don't do it enough, and we miss way too many opportunities, and it comes back to bite us. If we could at least have gotten one of those completions, if Jackson could find some open receivers. So I think in some cases the problem is our receivers just aren't very good. I really don't think they are. I think Brown is way too inconsistent. Watkins is okay, but his hands are an issue. And then with Bateman, I'm still a little confused. We're not playing him much at all, and it doesn't really make sense because ever since Bateman came back from the injury, he's been like really good, but we don't seem to be giving him a lot of touches. I don't know why. Whether he's not getting open or if it's like, I don't know. But like he did not play much today at all, and I've noticed that the past couple games. So part of it is, yes, our receivers are not good at creating separation, but at the same time, there were several plays where they were open and Jackson missed them. So again, I'm trying to be as honest a fan here as possible. So when it comes to Jackson's games against the Steelers, statistically, this actually was maybe his best game against the Steelers. He actually played pretty well statistically, but in the game, he did not play great. I mean, okay, so let's start. This wasn't, I'm going to call it a blown opportunity, but just a stupid play. The first drive, we're marching right down the field, and he throws a pick. Just a stupid pick, being chased by DJ Watt, flings it off his back foot. What are you doing? We're at like, what, the 10, 15-yard line of the Steelers? Throw it away, get a field goal. I know finishing with field goals is disappointing. I know. And yeah, that's another blown opportunity. But anyways, that's the first drive of the game. Throw it away, go up 3-0, let the defense play. That's all he had to do. Instead, he flings it up to no apparent receiver right to Minkah Fitzpatrick. That can't happen. No one to blame there but Jackson. Yes, it is a bit puzzling on why we left TJ Watt unblocked, but still, Jackson should not have done that. I don't know what he was doing. So I'm going to say a blown opportunity, but we just totally, I guess it is kind of a blown opportunity because we could have gotten 3 points easily out of that drive, and it didn't happen. That cannot happen. And I know, I don't like to play this game, but let's say we go up 3-0. So you add 3 points to our score, we end up winning 22-20. I'm not going to, or 23-20, I guess in that case. I'm not going to play that game, but it is worth considering on all the blown opportunities, man. I'm telling you. So now, these weren't specific, but let's talk about the other blown opportunities. We got to stop stalling on offense. We have to stop stalling on offense. We march on the field. We look great. We can't keep settling for field goals. We get ourselves into these third downs, and we just can't capitalize. That can't happen. We got to punch it in. That long drive, it was 7-3. We went up 10-3, but we got to punch it in the end zone. We got to capitalize. We have to finish drives. That's what we've been struggling with that all year. Today, it was very apparent, and that's another thing. That is what comes back to bite us. These missed opportunities, missed open receivers. The receiver slips, or the receiver drops it, or Jackson makes a bad throw. Like, we got to connect on these. The chemistry, I don't know if it's a chemistry thing, but the communication between Jackson and the receivers, including Andrews even, is just off. It's really off. You either have someone runs the wrong route, or Jackson misses a throw, or one of the receivers are open and Jackson misses them. The communication is off. Even the commentators, Nancy and Roma, they were in on it, talking about how frustrated everyone was on the sideline because the offense had been struggling so much. And the receivers, again, in some cases they can't get open, but when they are open, Jackson has to hit them. And I know it's hard when you're getting pressured every time, but yeah, no. Jackson missed open guys today. He just simply was not seeing the field. He doesn't see the field really well. I've really noticed that. He kind of focuses too much on one receiver. He's got to see the whole field because he did miss some open receivers today. And that can't happen. Again, blown opportunities, and that's what really came back to bite us in this game. So, what do I say about the defense? Like, I don't know what to say because, like, our offense was horrible today. I mean, Believe it or not, our offense was the best in the first half. How crazy does that sound? Because our offense has been silent in the first half this year, and it's always been the second half. And our offense was not great in the first half by any means, but it was better than it was in the second half. Second half, our offense just went silent. Totally silent. Until the final drive, our offense was just silent. I mean, okay, we did get that one drive to give us the field goal, and then we got another field goal, I think, later, but that can't happen. We got to finish drives. More importantly, we got to move the ball, and we didn't move the ball enough. So, like, it's hard to pin it on the defense because it gets tired, you know? It's cumulative over time. It gets tired. At the same time, it did choke. It did let up that touchdown. But, like, the Steelers ended up scoring 20 points. So it's hard to be too mad at the defense, right? 20 points for a full game, that's a pretty well-played game defensively, if you ask me. So it's hard to pin it on the defense. It's just the offense has to move the ball. The offense needs to capitalize when the defense is playing well, and that's always been an issue. The offense and the defense just simply are not clicking. Either the offense goes down and scores, then the defense gives up points, or the defense is playing lockdown, and then the offense doesn't do anything. So in the second half, where did our offense go? We were not moving the ball at all. Our line was missing blocks. Again, we were missing throws. Jackson didn't have much time to throw. It's just, so many issues, guys, and it's not really getting better. We're sitting here at 8-4. If you told me after all these injuries that the Ravens have been through and all of the shenanigans, if you told me the Ravens were going to be 8-4 after Week 13, I'd say you're out of your mind. We are here. Here we are sitting at 8-4. But I think pretty much even some Ravens fans can agree, we're not playing like an 8-4 team. We're not. We have so many flaws, so many issues. And again, I understand losing all of these guys, it hurts and it's really hard to move past it. And we pretty much can't. But these blown opportunities, that's not really about the injuries. The missed throws by Jackson, the bad throws, the drops, that's not on the injuries, we can still get those with or without the injuries. That's just the communication and just the blowing of opportunities. Like Jackson going off his back foot and flinging an interception to Minka Fitzpatrick. That's not on the injuries, okay? That's just bad decision making. So again, I understand the injuries over time and overall they really hurt, but in some cases you can't keep making that excuse. And today I really don't think it was the injuries that plagued us. I think it was the blown opportunities, and excuse me, it really came back to bite us. This one hurts, man. This one hurts. Steelers rivalry. The Steelers, man, they're again such a scrappy team. Really thought we were gonna win and get a statement win, but it just didn't happen. The Steelers got the statement win instead. So, okay, now we'll talk about the final. So, again, and let's talk about consistency on offense. Where was that offense the whole game? Steelers get a touchdown. They get the 2-point conversion. They're up 7. We have less than 2 minutes left. We march right down the field. Where was that all game? Like, seriously, if you have to throw the ball every play to get yourself downfield, so be it, okay? Whatever it takes to get us down the field, do it. But seriously, bro, where was that offense all game? Yes, we did have some setbacks. Jackson got sacked. TJ Watt, Jesus, dude. We'll talk more about him in a second. But anyways, we moved right down the field. We did, again, that setback, the Watt sack. I think we had like a holding call or something. But then Jackson on 3rd and 14, great play to find Hollywood. Then he found Duvernay. Then he found Watkins in the end zone. Great. We moved the ball. We got in the end zone. Where was that all game, though? Like, you can't keep saving it until the end. That's the problem. Against the Bears, we got away with it because we happened to be down only by, 4 points by then? Yeah, it was 4 points. So we were able to get away with it against the Bears, what I'm saying. So, like, we had that one drive at the end. We got to do more than that. We can't just have our best drive at the end. We got to do it for 4 quarters. Of course, I'm not saying we have to score on every drive. Obviously not. But we have to have more consistency on offense because, like, that drive, again, where was that all game? Where was that to be found? We were throwing the ball well. Jackson moved it down the field with his arm. Looks great. But, like, it was too little, too late. And then, of course, so guys, this is kind of an unpopular opinion. I don't like the decision to go for 2. I know you're going to say, oh, hindsight, because you didn't get it. But no, I can promise you guys, the second after I kind of half celebrated after Watkins got that touchdown. I was like, don't go for 2, don't go for 2, don't go for 2. I thought it was the wrong decision. I thought, push it to overtime, we'll take our chances. I said, don't go for 2, don't go for 2. And then the camera viewed it on Harbaugh holding up 2 fingers, and I was like, oh crap, here we go. I don't like the decision, guys. I know what is at stake. So Harbaugh in the press conference is kind of deflecting. He said that he went for 2 because we were literally out of corners. Now, it sounds crazy, but in reality, he is kind of right. Humphrey goes out. And then Jimmy Smith, who knows with him, who did not play very well today either. Averett, who had a really rough game today. So Humphrey's out. So who else do we have at corner? I mean, I know Tavon Young, Jimmy Smith, but like they're only in half the time, so it didn't really work. So he is right in the sense of like we're pretty much out of corners now that Humphrey went down. But I still don't like the decision. I would have taken the chances because you say, oh, okay, if you go into overtime, you're screwed. The Steelers will just get the ball and score. But what if the Ravens won the toss and the Ravens marched right down the field? Like against the Colts, the Ravens won the toss. Our defense had been struggling. It was depleted with injuries, yet we went into overtime. I know we had no choice because we had to get a 2-point conversion to push the game to overtime. But still, we won the coin toss, drove right down the field, scored. The defense didn't even get to see the field. So who says we couldn't have done that today? I mean, I know the coin toss, it's completely random and it's 50-50. But still, I would have taken the extra point. You have the best kicker in the league. Yes, the defense is hurt. Yes, it was struggling, but I would have taken my chances, honestly. I don't like the decision to go for 2. I don't like the play call. I actually thought the play call was pretty good, but I don't like the decision to do it in the first place. That play should never have happened. So now, and again, Lamar Jackson, I'm not trying to necessarily take all the blame away from him. He did not play overly well today. He wasn't terrible, and again, statistically, he actually wasn't bad at all. But he missed throws. Again, the communication between him and the receivers is off and all that. But the thing about Lamar Jackson is they say, oh, he can't win in big games. So what would have been the case, though? Because, he's down 7. There's less than 2 minutes left. He marches his team down the field, scores a touchdown and gets 6 points, then goes for 2 and misses it. But, okay. So then you say, oh, Jackson, he can't win in big games. He can't win in big games. But at the same time, if we kicked the extra point and made it 20-20, and then the Steelers won the toss in overtime and then scored, you couldn't say Jackson can't win in the big game because he drove us on the field to tie. And then if Jackson, excuse me, if we got that 2-point conversion, then it would have been, oh yeah, Jackson can win in big games. So it's really the matter of the plays and the matter of what happens play to play just makes so much of a difference. But I don't know. Because Jackson, again, he did lead us down the field to score that touchdown. He did. But we fell short on the 2-point conversion, and he still had a lot of flaws earlier in the game. So Jackson definitely deserves some blame here. The coaching, Harbaugh, I just do not agree with his decision. I think that was wrong. Even if we got the 2-point conversion, I would have thought it was the wrong decision. I think it was just too risky, and it came back to bite us, Pretty much all the time when we choose to go for it, the trust between Jackson and Harbaugh, it works. This time it didn't. Yeah. That just sucks. It really does. This time it doesn't work. Eventually it was going to fail, and this is when it fails. So, backbreaker, as I said, guys. It's a total backbreaker. It's not the end of the world. The Bengals lost. The Chargers rolled the Bengals today. I was pretty impressed. So the Ravens are still leading the AFC North, but now the Steelers are back in it. The Browns are coming off the bye. Who knows with the Bengals? And they have the tiebreaker over us at the moment. So it's going to be a really interesting next few weeks, but honestly, I'm not feeling good about this team. I'm not. I think we have a lot of flaws. The injuries keep getting worse. Our game in general is not improving, I don't think. We lost today. We should not have lost. We shot ourselves in the foot. I'm trying to stay positive, man. I really am, but I don't love our chances going forward. We have a really tough schedule. Yeah, I think it's going to be a rough end of the year. But who knows, and I'll stay along for the ride, and we'll see what the Ravens can do. So, guys, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I am out. Peace out. Have a great night. Again, congrats to the Steelers. Go Ravens, man. Let's recover from this, and I will see you next weekend.